Well, that's good. You talked about potentially making a positive difference, and if I don't know if you're aware of. I've also we were looking at your book, your Back to Nature Conversations with the Wild, and I think that's been written with Megan Cubban as well, and yourself, your good self. Now, I think was this on the back of a podcast during lockdown?
Yeah, well, we set up a thing called the Self-Isolating Bird Club during lockdown. So we would do a daily, Facebook program and YouTube, Twitter, everything, and that's what we did. We just shared the joy that we experienced in our small garden and the woods around it throughout the course of the lockdown period, and a lot of people were responding to nature for the first time in many years, or maybe even for the first time. So it became very, very popular and developed a huge following. And Megs and I would just get up of the morning, and we'd go out and see what we found, and then we'd talk about it, and play do poo quizzes and things like that.
Yeah.
And then,
well, I want to tell you how that's inspired us, really, in a way, because one thing when I watched. There was a short video, and you were talking about ponds and putting ponds in gardens and things. But also, I think you said, look, we're going to need something bigger than this. We're going to need a bigger boat. We're going to need a bigger pond. If we're going to do more for nature. So I wanted to let you know how the work that you do, how that's helping a company like us. Because obviously, what I don't want to do is talk on a podcast all about bird food and so just sell. We've got a responsibility also to make a positive difference. So when we read or hear about, the work that you do to talk about bringing or back to nature and how to love life and save it and so on, we think about what can we do? Well, we have an opportunity. We are moving. We're relocating our business from Haith, from Grimsby, into a little place called Louth, which is just on the edge of it's the capital of the Lincolnshire Wolds. But what we're going to do is we're going to do it a little bit differently. Instead of just move our commercial building and just put another factory up there, I read a piece a while ago, but you were also talking about this, and I'll read it if I can. It's on your website. It says, we need to forge powerful partnerships with industry and the commercial sector. We need to infiltrate and influence. We need to stop fighting and look for fair and effective compromise, both in terms of conservation and wholesale care of the environment. And I think this was talking about Dibdin Bay. And so the new forest at Dibdin Bay. And we're thinking, well, we're a commercial business that says to people in the gardens, these are the wonderful things you can do. That's where our conversation started, really. But we thought, what should we do? If we're moving, how can we give commercial space back to nature? So our new plot, we're going to be giving about 25% of our commercial setting back to nature. So we're going to be having, for example, our wildlife, we're going to be introducing wildlife ponds, large wildlife ponds. Our drainage, for example, will be dealt with through a wildlife attenuation pond. We're working with a gardener, well, he's a little bit more than that. He's planting schemes all over the country, really, and was on TV at one point to talk to them about planting for pollinators, and not only so we can attract those beneficial insects and so on. We'll get some jam jars if you should ever come and see us. We'll go for a foray, but also we're going to create areas where our team can have a break. They can take a break with nature. So because we're a manufacturer, not everybody can stay at home and work from home. We have to come to work to create these great products, but we want them to stay connected. So, for example, our canteen has a jetty over a pond. Open the door and you can sit on the jetty and you can sit over the pond. I'm
going to send you my CV. Can I just make Can I make vegan hot chocolates in your canteen?
They'll be on tap for you when you come to see us. Absolutely. Well, you'll love this next, but I know you know, or you know of Hannah Bourne Taylor with the Swift campaign, the feather speech, and so on. Well, Hannah mentioned to us about. I don't know whether you can just see that, Chris. That's our Swift.
Oh, yes, I see it. Yes.
So, because we were thinking not only can we give this commercial space back to nature, let's make our building, let's make it a giant nest box, if you like. So we've been in contact with the Action for Swifts team. We've got 7 Swift boxes. We're going to be playing this Swift music to entice our own colony, hopefully at one point, and we'll just keep building that up. But I wondered whether what your thought to that? I mean, do we? We've mentioned it to some people, and they say, "Well, you must be mad. It's such a tough commercial world at the moment. Why are you spending money on doing these other things?" But we think, like you, if we're going to do this, let's make a positive difference.
Yeah,
let's do something.
I think at the end of the day, you can either build the bandwagon or you can be late jumping on it. And you have customers that are tried and tested and have been with you, like myself, for many years. People will vote with their feet. Ultimately, that's it. We like to go to places where we are getting a good quality product for the right price, but it goes beyond that now. It's not just product and price. It's about the ethics of those companies. I've just switched my bank. It took me ages. I don't know why, because everyone's terrified of switching their bank. And I've just switched my bank to an ethical bank. I've got a green energy supplier. When opportunities arise now, people are voting with their feet. And if you're investing in the very thing that you're promoting, it seems like a no-brainer to me. And it